Paul Yaffe here, Paul Yaffe's Bagger Nation. What I want to talk to you about today is our brand new lighting system. These are our lightning bolt LED lights. They're self-contained. All the electronics are internal. They're incredibly super bright. And the neatest thing about them is you just drill a 7/16 hole, slip them in the hole, and bolt them right in. Let me show you. So this is the actual light, and it just has these little nuts that thread down it. Look how thin it is. It just goes right through a 7/16 hole, almost flush mounts, and then you just wire them in. Everything is potted inside, so you don't, no resistors, no diodes, nothing exposed. Super clean. They're machined from billet 6061. They're available in a satin finish, kind of a polished finish, and they're also available in a black anodize. You can create any kind of pattern you want with these lights. You can put them in the lids of your saddlebags, in the fillers of your fender like this. You can put them on your FXR Dyna. This is one of the new Softails that we just drilled 4 holes in, and check these things out. Look how bright they are. So that's just the running light. That's the 4 lights. We also wired these. So the outsides are turn singles. And then when you get to the brake lights, forget about it. These things are so incredibly bright. And the only limitation with these things is your imagination. You can make any shape you want. They'll bolt to any flush surface, almost anything. This even has a radius to it, and they bolt right in flush. Really, really a trick little product. Check them out at baggernation.com. Thanks for watching. Paul Yaffe, Paul Yaffe's Bagger Nation. What I want to talk to you about now is our new invention called the Stealth Heel Lever. What the Stealth Heel Lever does is it completely removes that peg that normally sits right in the middle of your floorboard and prevents you from moving your feet back and forth on the floorboard. Also, it also makes you lift your foot really high to step and do upshifts. A lot of guys I've seen actually remove their heel lever, and they use a little product of ours called a heel lever eliminator. Well, I really like using a heel lever, but I don't like how much I have to step up to shift and how much motion it takes. I really find myself using the heel lever when I'm attacking a canyon, and I want smooth upshifts as I'm pulling through turns, and I don't want to have to lift my foot off the footboard when I'm under power, flying through a canyon. Also, what you'll see here is I made a matching toe lever. Nothing really unique about that other than it's really cool looking. It's got the I-beam styling. It's, all business kind of look, and it's a great match to the Stealth heel lever. But the Stealth heel lever is really the invention here. Let me show you something real quick. So you can see when I put my foot on the footboard, one, I can stretch my foot all the way out, get full extension. It's comfortable when I'm riding distance. I can pull my foot back now all the way to the back of my footboard like a mid-control when I'm hammering through a canyon. It's really nice to be able to squeeze my knees on the tank and keep my feet right underneath me. The coolest part about this is my foot peg, the rear shift peg now doesn't get in my way at all. And when I'm hammering through the canyons, watch this, this is the motion that it takes for me to upshift. That's it. That's all I have to do. That's all. Minimal heel movement for upshifting completely will change the way you feel about heel and toe shifting. Super easy. That's it. That's it. I just shifted. Super easy. Minimal. So check it out. The Stealth heel lever, the I-beam toe lever. Next, let's check out the matching brake lever that I just came up with too. Here I am again. Now I want to share with you our new I-beam brake lever, which one obviously has a matching style to the stealth heel lever and the I-beam toe lever. It accepts it accepts your stock OEM peg, or you can use one of our super cool pegs, like this is a Speed Freak one here, or accepts most popular aftermarket shift pegs. One of the coolest things it does is it makes the brake pedal area smaller. So again, I don't have that big brake pedal stopping my foot from going forward. I can put my feet forward and I can hang my feet out when I'm on long rides, yet still have super easy access for braking. This also is completely adjustable. You can adjust the brake pedal down and forward, so if you like an extended reach type application, you're a daddy long legs or something, you can put that pedal out farther so you can even get more reach. This right here is in the stock position. And again, I've got full movement, easy braking, and all business muscle style. All these parts are machined from 6061 T6 billet aluminum, and they're available anodized black or in a flawless chrome finish. Check them out at baggernation.com. Thanks for watching. Hi, Paul Yaffe here, Paul Yaffe's Bagger Nation. Have you ever noticed how tall the fairings are on the 2015 Road Glides? I have to stretch my neck all the way up like this just to see over a low windshield, and I cannot at all see the road in front of me or any obstacles that would be there. I don't know about you, but that really bothers me. So what we created is our new drop block fairing lowering kit for 15 and later Road Glide models. And what I want to do today is I want to show you, one, how easily it installs, and then two, how it drops this fairing a full 2 inches while maintaining full suspension clearance. You actually get to remove these horrible, ugly fairing support brackets. If you want, you can even remove the engine guard after you install our kit, because our kit not only lowers the fairing, it also comes with an internal stealth fairing support bar that supports the fairing like the stock brackets do, but completely in an invisible fashion. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take the fairing off, get to the point where we're ready to install our kit, and then I'll get more in depth into the construction of our kit and what it does. Stay tuned. Okay, so now I'm at the point where I've taken off the necessary components to install the drop block on behind the fairing. So real easy, I just undid the windshield bolts. There's 6 screws that hold the outer fairing on. There's a couple that are hidden underneath the speaker grills, 2 in the back of the fairing, 1 screw on each side where the turn signals are, and the skin that is the outer fairing comes right off. I took out the headlight, 4 more screws take out the audio unit. You just unplug a couple of connectors. You can leave the majority of your main wiring harness in stock. And I got to this point, so I'm ready to pull out the main fairing bolts and drop the fairing. What I did is I put a 4x4 piece of wood right here on top of my protected fender. Once I undid these 4 bolts, I just set the fairing down, rocked it forward, then I can get access to the main fairing support bracket. Between the inner fairing and the bracket, that's where the drop box slides in. So I've already made my cuts. These are a few little pieces. I'll let Joe zoom in on this when we get there. You're going to cut the feet off the bracket and the little tab, the upper tab off the bracket. Now all this stuff is covered step by step in the instructions. It comes with step-by-step instructions with pictures showing you what to do. It's a very straightforward, it's really a one-man deal. You just have to be a little careful and read the instructions. It's not that big of a deal to install the drop block. So now that I have the drop block installed and bolted in, the fairing is now setting down 2 inches lower than it was. So the next part is installing our stealth fairing support bar. This part slides right up inside the fairing, sits snugly like this. It kind of disappears inside the fairing. I'm going to slide it in here once because I have to mark and drill these 2 mounting holes that mount to the sub chassis of the fairing support. So I'm going to go ahead and install the stealth fairing support bar. And again, this comes with full instructions too, step by step, to install the bar. Very simple, straightforward process. So we're going to install that bar. And then I can reassemble the headlight, put the stereo back in, slip the fairing on, and we'll be done. So check back in a few more minutes and I'll show you where I'm at. Okay, so I've got the stealth fairing support bar installed. It's a very straightforward install. This whole stealth fairing support bar just slips in place and it fits inside the Road Glide fairing and offers all the support you need for the fairing, but invisibly. When the outer fairing goes on, it's going to cover all of this and you won't see any of it. So a couple tips. When you're sliding the bar in, slide it in first, mock it up, put these bottom bolts in, tighten the bracket in place, and then go ahead and drill your 2 holes in the main support chassis. Then you can pop the thing off, clean up the holes. Then when you reinstall it, it helps. I had a little screwdriver in my pocket, so these little, right here, I can pry these open and it makes the bar slide right in to help you to have a little screwdriver. Other than that, don't forget the step in the instructions where they tell you to remove the little rubber bumpers that are inside this hole right here, because that makes sliding the bar in really super easy and you don't need it anymore because our stealth fairing support bar takes up the room where those bumpers were. Other than that, it's a really straightforward deal now that it's installed. So now the drop block is installed, the fairing support bar is installed, everything's solid. The fairing is now lowered 2 inches and completely supported. If you want your fairing support bar, these brackets are gone, so now you can take your engine guard off if you want, which is a really cool look. All I've got to do now is bolt the headlight back in, bolt the audio back on, plug it back in, throw the last few parts on, and we'll be good to go. So I'll see you when I'm finished. So now I have finished the installation of the fairing drop block kit and the stealth fairing support bar. I've put back on, obviously, the outer fairing, windshield, audio, the headlights are reinstalled. I'm just finishing getting this windshield put on. That is the final piece that needs to be put on. I can now remove my paint guards, and now you can see that the fairing has been dropped a full 2 inches with the drop block. It's completely supported with the fairing, with the internal fairing support bar. There's no flex in the fairing. The fairing support brackets that used to bolt to the engine guard are now gone, which are big, ugly things that I'm glad are gone. Now I can remove my engine guard if I want and get an even cleaner look. And the most important part of all of this, besides the back that my bike looks cool, now I can see the road just fine through the windshield. I can see what's in front of me. I've completely dropped that fairing and taken it out of my horizon, which it was totally interrupting my vision. So thanks for watching. It wasn't that big of a deal. Get your fairing drop block for your 15 and later Road Glide at baggernation.com. Have a great day. Hi, Paul Yaffe here, Paul Yaffe's Bagger Nation, and what I want to talk to you about today is this nifty new little product that we like to call a rake ring. For years, since we've been raking bikes, one of the problems that you run into, especially with a batwing fairing bike, when you increase the angle of the fork, what happens is the fairing moves with the fork and the headlight points up in the air like a bat signal. So what we created is this rake ring that goes in behind the headlight, and it corrects the headlight position back to stock, what it's supposed to be. That just basically bolts right in behind it. Super easy install, takes just a couple minutes, and it completely disappears once it's installed. You really can't even see it. So check it out online. If you're raking your bike, it works on 23 or 26-inch applications. It's a perfect complement with our SRT kits. Just check it out online, baggernation.com. New rake ring.